Guys, how are we doing? And welcome back to another video. This is the Fighters Forecast. It's your boy Tennant speaking right now. She's just gonna upload some videos a bit later in the week, but right now I'm gonna try and upload videos on Tuesdays of full card breakdowns, so you guys can watch it now, take in all the information you hear, and place your bets. Keep your knowledge in your head accordingly. Right now it's Moreno versus Kavanagh, but I want to kind of recap the last fight card of the Sean Strickland versus Fluffy Hernandez fight. We saw Sean Strickland look incredible in his return after his suspension. He stuffed the takedowns from Fluffy. He outboxed Fluffy. He looked fantastic in that matchup. Everyone knows Sean Strickland loves a good mic. I think we got to give him Chimaev here, in my opinion. He just made an absolute fool out of a guy on a 9-fight win streak. I think Sean Strickland really, really deserves that title shot. And also, those guys don't really like each other. So I feel like it'd be a really, really good fight. Maybe even on the White House card. That'd be cool, maybe for a co-main. That's my opinion on that one. Then we have Tennant's lock of the week, the underdog lock of the week. Uros Medic knocks Neil's head right off his shoulders. Uros Medic, the doctor has pulled the plug. I repeat, the doctor has pulled the plug. Jeff Neal is dead. Uros Medic with a beautiful, beautiful shot there to put him out cold. Very, very quick with the hands, just like I said he'd be. And like I said, no Neil chin was the real key in that matchup. And those were the couple fights, guys. We lost our slam of the week. I told you guys to slam Ante Delia against the Polar Bear. Polar Bear looked really good. His boxing was very good. He's kept up with Ante Delia in the boxing. He got a nice takedown on Delia as well. He looked phenomenal. I've been a pretty big. I shit on Polar Bear a lot, to be honest. I don't believe the guy's that good, but he put on a great performance, so I can't really slander him here. I thought it was great odds for Ante Delia. That's why he was my slam of the week, but it just didn't happen. It's okay though. We're gonna move on to this next one. We got Uros Medic. We did not get Ante Delia. No problem. We're gonna go 2-0 this week. This week it is Moreno versus Kavanagh. It's a really good fight card, guys. I'm excited. It's in Mexico City. So when you're breaking down and looking at all these fights, you have to remember these fights are at elevation, which means the cardio of some fighters are not going to be there. That's why hometown people from Mexico are going to be mostly winning these fights. You're going to see me pick a lot of Mexicans on this card because they live in Mexico. They train at elevation. Their cardio is going to be better. And sometimes having better cardio is better than having real skills. For example, Merab Dvalishvili, the success he's been having. I'm going to break down this card bottom to top like we always do, guys. Hopefully you can sit back, relax, and we can make some more money. First fight is Wes Schultz against Damian Pinaz. Wes Schultz, I'll start with him. He's a grappler at heart. He has a good grappling skills. His striking's pretty sloppy. It's pretty loose and it's pretty slow. Wes Schultz is pretty much a one-dimensional grappler. He has good grappling credentials. Lots of subs on his record. We saw him lose against Abdul Malik. He didn't look good in that spot whatsoever. That was about a pick'em fight. Wes Schultz got him out of there. Sorry. And Mansour Abdul Malik got him out of there. Can't talk right now. Sorry, guys. Came off a big day at work. Wes Schultz did not look good, but he came back the next season on Dana White Contender Series. And he looked pretty good. He got a win. Too bad he's fighting Baby Yoga, Pinaz. Pinaz, I've watched this guy. I watched him fight Jason Jackson. Damian Pinaz is absolutely insane on the feet. He has great long boxing combinations. His jab is very, very nice. He throws it out there. He keeps you at bay, and he loves to strike from distance. Damian Pinaz has 8 finishes, 8 KOs. He is extremely good in the boxing. He's made a career of himself stuffing off takedowns from his opponents and just knocking them clean out. I don't see how this fight's any different. I think Damian Pinaz knocks this guy out within 2 rounds. I think his hands are too quick and he's too powerful for Wes Schultz in this matchup. Next, we got the return of Eric Silva against Francis Marshall. Eric Silva, we saw him hurt his knee last time he was in. I don't know how this guy's going to come back, especially because he's old. Eric Silva, he has lots of power in the hands, and he will throw just out of spite, out of grit. Everyone loves a fighter like Eric Silva. He's not that technical, but he will throw. He's fighting Francis Marshall. He just fought Myron Santos. Everyone knows how good Myron Santos really is. Myron Santos has great striking. He has great power. And I thought Francis Marshall did really, really well against him, to be honest. I thought Francis Marshall, he was there. He shot good takedowns. He stalled Marian Santos against the cage, and he looked fantastic in that matchup. Here, in my opinion, Francis Marshall has the youth. I think he has the wrestling that is needed for this matchup, and I think he can get nice 1-2 combinations to a shot against or a clinch against the fence. Give me Francis Marshall in this matchup. Next fight, we got Douglas Silva Andrade against Javier Reyes. We watched Javier Reyes fight on the Contender Series. The guy's not technical at all, but he throws with no regard for human life. He will throw for your head to take it off. Javier Reyes is fun. He's not technical, but he's fun. He shoots decent takedowns, but he mainly does his work on the feet. Javier Reyes loves to throw overhands, loves to throw heavy 1-2 combinations with wide hooks. Javier Reyes is all gas, no brakes. And he's fighting a guy, Douglas Silva de Andrade. He's going to be small for this weight class at 145, in my opinion, and Reyes is massive for this weight class. Douglas Silva Andrade is a pretty good wrestler here, and if he is big enough, maybe he can force some takedowns. But if it's how I think it's going to be, I think Javier Reyes is going to be too big, and I think Javier Reyes puts this guy out. What's wrong, Nella? I think Javier Reyes puts this guy out. So I think Javier Reyes is just going to have the power, he's going to have the volume, and he's going to have the striking advantage against Douglas Silva de Andrade. And I like him in this matchup a lot. Sorry, guys, I had to let out my dog. Next, we got the two worst fighters on the card, Christian Quinones against Chris Moutinho. Christian Quinones coming off a pretty big layoff. He's not a great fighter. He has good power in the hands. That's about it. He's not great at wrestling. He doesn't have a great volume. He just has big power. I think Christian Quinones is okay. Too bad his opponent's even worse. Chris Moutinho sucks. The guy sucks. That's really all I can say about Chris Moutinho. He's got decent boxing, no wrestling whatsoever. He's got a decent chin. That's about it. He is known for taking 230 significant strikes from Sean O'Malley. That's the only reason why this guy is known. Chris Moutinho is not a good fighter. Anybody beats him in the 135 division. So I guess just 1 + 1 = 2. Give me Christian Quinones. I think he puts him out. I don't like Christian Quinones. He's not that good. But I think he puts out Chris Moutinho. Next fight. This is actually a really good fight. Macy Chiasson against Aline Perez. Guys, I don't really break down women's MMA because it's fucked me in the past. I think the odds here in Aline Perez are very, very good. Macy Chiasson is not good. Fuck Macy Chiasson. She sucks. Aline Perez is going to shoot the takedowns. Chiasson's going to get tired from all that weight she's cut, and it's in Mexico City. Aline Perez has great, great odds at -160. I would take her, but I'm not going to because I've been fucked in the past by women's MMA. We're going to stay away, but for all you guys that like to bet on women's MMA, this is the spot. Hammer Aline Perez, in my opinion. Next fight, we got Jose Medina against Ryan Gondra. Jose Medina, the human punching bag for the 185 division. The UFC doesn't like this guy, man. They signed him off a loss after he got beaten up to shit against Gagi Azulov. And then he fought, who was his first fight? Zach Reese. Zach Reese battered this guy. And then he fought Dusko and he got battered. And then he fought Gauthier and he got battered. And now he's fighting Gondra and he's about to get battered. Ryan Gondra is a monster on the feet. He's got great, great striking, wide hooks, a clean 1-2, a nice jab. Ryan Gondra is very, very good here. This is pretty much a test of how powerful Ryan Gondra is in the striking on the feet. Jose Medina is supposed to have a good training. He has lots of grit. He'll come forward. He'll throw combinations. But it's just not really going to do much here. Ryan Gondra is the much better fighter in this matchup. And he KOs Jose Medina, in my opinion, inside rounds 1 or 2. Give me Ryan Gondra by knockout in this matchup. Next fight, we got Santiago Luna against Angel Pacheco. Santiago Luna came on the scene. Nobody ever heard of this guy before. Well, especially I didn't. I didn't know who he was. He's fighting Angel Pacheco. Angel Pacheco's a wild guy. He likes to have fun. He likes to throw bombs, and he has decent wrestling as well. Angel Pacheco, 7-3. He's not bad. I think it's going to be a good test for Santiago Luna. I think Santiago Luna has the better combinations boxing-wise. He's got better low kicks as well, and I think that's going to pay dividends in this matchup. Santiago Luna is going to chop the tree. He's going to get Angel Pacheco biting on that leg kick, and he's going to be able to open up the boxing even more in the pocket. I know Pacheco's a dog, but Santiago Luga has the much better technique, has more power, has better volume. I think Santiago Luna wins this fight. It's also in Mexico, so I'm going to go Santiago Luna by decision in this matchup. Now we got Emmanuel Rodriguez against Kevin Borjas. Emmanuel Rodriguez, I'm a big fan of this guy. I believe he's really good. I believe he did not lose to Joseph Martinez in the Ultimate Fighter. I thought he won that matchup. I think Emmanuel Rodriguez is going to be a problem in the 125 division. You are going to see that name in the future. Emmanuel Rodriguez has great boxing combinations. He's a good wrestler. He shoots nice, clean double leg takedowns and single leg takedowns. I think he's going to be in Kevin Borjas' face. We know Kevin. Kevin likes to strike. So I feel like if Emmanuel just wants to shoot takedowns, I think he can. It's totally going to be there. And I also think he's the better striker, even though Borjas is a striker. So I believe Emmanuel Rodriguez runs through Kevin Borjas here. I think he finishes him. I don't know which finish I kind of want to go to. I'm going to lean by submission. I think Emmanuel Rodriguez can get this guy on the ground. He can get an arm triangle or a rear naked choke in this matchup. Next fight, we got Edgar Chairez against Felipe Bunez. Edgar Chairez, we've seen him lose to Joshua Van. We've seen him lose to Tatsuro Taira. And those are not bad losses at all. Those are great losses, if I say so myself. Edgar Chairez has great subs. Everyone needs to know Edgar Chairez's subs are high-level jiu-jitsu. This guy traps you. He baits you into positions, and he will snatch up an arm triangle. He will snatch up a gi. Edgar Chairez is a menace in the submission game. But he's fighting a guy who's also a black belt in Felipe Bunez. Felipe Bunez is also a great grappler here. This is going to be who's going to win the striking exchanges. Felipe Bunez is not a great striker, and Edgar Chairez is decent. I think Edgar Chairez is the much better fighter here, in my opinion. I think he's the better grappler. I think he's the better striker by quite a bit. And I think Edgar Chairez can put on a nice pace in Mexico City, where he's from. I think this is a very good spot. Edgar Chairez at minus 250. I believe that's great odds, and I believe he gets the dub. Next fight, we got Daniel Zellhuber against Bobby King Green. Daniel Zellhuber just came off one of the most embarrassing performances I've ever watched in my life. Daniel Zellhuber did not throw a punch against Michael Johnson. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. This guy is supposed to be a prospect. He's supposed to be a guy flying up the ranks. They gave Michael Johnson, an older guy, a guy you should be putting the volume on, a guy you should be able to read his strikes. You have so much tape on him. He's an older guy. He doesn't have the pop or the speed of his punches anymore, and you got outclassed. Michael Johnson beat this guy. This gets me a bit scared. Michael Johnson has a little bit of a weird striking style, I'd say. And if you know King Green has a really weird striking style. I don't know, maybe Daniel Zellhuber was hypnotized in that first fight by Johnson, and if he was, he's going to be hypnotized here by Bobby Green. The problem is with Bobby Green is he's full-on washed. He's full-on washed. He got KO'd by Mauricio Ruffi by that beautiful spinning back kick, and that was the end of King Green right there. He got terribly knocked out against Jalen Turner. The ref was a fucking fool and didn't stop the fight. But after those 2 KOs, Bobby Green has not been the same. He's still going to fight the same. He's going to fight with his hands by his waist. He's going to keep talking to you, throwing from his hips. But in my opinion here, Daniel Zellhuber in Mexico, where he's from, if he can't get this win, get him the fuck out of here. You already tried to give him a layup with Michael Johnson. You give him another layup in Bobby King Green. You're trusting him again. If he cannot get this win, get him the fuck out of here. The boxing combinations are going to be too clean from Zellhuber. I think he can shoot takedowns if he wants as well. I know King Green has decent takedown defense, but Daniel Zellhuber is the much better fighter, and if he does not prove it, get him the fuck out of here. Now we got Marlon Crybaby Chito Vera against David Martinez. Marlon Crybaby, guy loves to cry when the scorecards get read because he never gets any fucking finishes. Marlon Chito Vera is one of the biggest crybabies I've ever seen in the UFC. He acts all shocked and he starts getting upset when the decisions don't go his way. Hey, Marlon, maybe just think about this. Maybe you should actually throw in the first round and not drop the first round every single fight when you're fighting in 3-round fights. How about that? Amin Zahabi beat you. No one knows what you're crying for. It's because you didn't do shit in the first round. Marlon Chito Vera is one of the biggest crybabies. He's one of the worst title challengers in the whole UFC when he fought Sean O'Malley. Marlon Chito Vera, sure, he has decent power. He's got good skills. The guy doesn't throw. How do you bet on a guy that does not throw? It makes absolutely no sense to me why people are picking him in this matchup because David Martinez is good. He's not a bum. This isn't a bum that's being thrown at Chito Vera. David Martinez has some of the coolest boxing combinations I've seen in the UFC, especially in the 135 division. David Martinez is quick. He's got that in and out movement like Dominic Cruz. He comes in your face, out your face. 1, 2, 3, 4. David Martinez is a very, very good prospect in this division in the UFC, and you're going to hear this name more, especially in Mexico City. I believe David Martinez puts on the pace. He wins rounds 1 and 2, maybe drops the third because Chito builds and he likes to analyze his opponents. Fuck Chito Vera. The guy is not active enough. He doesn't throw enough volume. David Martinez is the much better fighter. I believe he has the striking advantage, and I believe they are equal in the grappling exchanges. So give me David Martinez in this matchup. Next fight we got for the main event. It's Brandon Moreno against Loner Kavanagh. Loner Kavanagh stepping in on short notice for Asul Amabayev. Brandon Moreno, is he old? Is he washed? I don't know. This is a problem here. This would be a much harder fight for me to break down if I did not see Loner Kavanagh get KO'd by Charles Johnson. It's plain and simple. Loner Kavanagh slowed down in that matchup. He really slowed down in that matchup. And we know Charles Johnson does not slow down. And what do we know about Brandon Moreno? He does not slow down. This really, really proved Loner Kavanagh's cardio was not good enough against Charles Johnson. He got sloppy. His hands went down to his waist. You know, he wasn't like moving forward in that second, third round. Loner Kavanagh really, really proved me wrong there, to be honest. I was on this guy. I thought this guy was going to go to the top. And he still can, by all means. He still can. He needs to improve his cardio. Loner Kavanagh has the skills. He has the mixed martial arts skills to get to the top. He needs to improve that cardio. Because if you show up with the same cardio against Brandon Moreno, a guy who has a fantastic jab, he has great takedowns, he has great control on top, you're going to lose. You're going to get drowned by Brandon Moreno. And if I'm going off that last fight I watched in Loner Kavanagh, I have to go Brandon Moreno here. I have to. There's nothing else I can say here. Brandon Moreno has the better striking, in my opinion, the basic fundamental striking of the jab, of the cross. Brandon Moreno is the better fighter in that aspect, and I believe he's the better wrestler, not jiu-jitsu practitioner, wrestler. I think he can get the spots he wants. I think the clinch will be good for Brandon Moreno in this matchup, and I think he beats Loner Kavanagh, which is very respectable. It's a very respectable loss. Moreno is ranked 6th in the world. Kavanagh taking on a short notice. I fuck with that, man, and I really do appreciate you taking that fight so we can all be entertained. But yeah, that's the breakdown, guys. So, if you've enjoyed, leave a like. It mean the world to me. We're trying to start this channel up. We're trying to get better and better. Shees and I, we're trying to get a more consistent schedule of posting videos so people can, download the information into their brains and do what you want with it. But yeah, guys, I'm out. Hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.